You hear about this shipwreck discovered from 1869? No, is it a cool thing? Like, doesn't sound that interesting. What makes it wild? Check out the conspiracy about Tartarian. What the fuck? Is this another reptilian thing? We'll do Tartarian truth. Oh, it's an entire channel. Wait, what is it? I just want the basics. Tartarian truth. The lost civilization of Tartaria. This is the truth about Tartaria.
God, I wish he was going to say Atlantis, but he's going to say Tartaria. So here's the thing that you need to understand when you come across old maps. The terminology we use to...
Oh, don't debunk it. Jesus, you're defeating the whole purpose. I want to learn about it. Who did you say covered it? Oh, absolutely not, Andy. That's done by a professional. By Mind Unveiled. 52 minutes, Jesus Christ, I just want the cliff notes. Holy shit, the Tartarians have 6 arms. Just give me the goddamn basics. The mud flood of Tartaria. The mud flood, what the fuck is that?
Has anyone ever noticed that some buildings have windows built into the floor? These buildings are all over the world. I know you've seen them. You just didn't know what you was looking at.
I'm sure the poor people who live there know what they're looking at.
And if you can see the windows on the left or the right hand side, they're buried on the ground, facing
What does that have
the
to do
wall.
with Tartarians?
The whole point of having a window is to look out.
Well, or receive sunlight, but we don't want the plebs living in those half-basement apartments getting any of that.
So this building, after being excavated, this is what was discovered.
And all this time, no one ever went down the stairs?
That all of these buildings are actually covered, buried in mud. You just can't make this up.
Well,
Dude,
So that means people was just walking on the top
genius.
part, not realizing there's a whole story of floors underneath.
and they don't sink in the mud? Amazing.
Has anyone ever noticed?
What does that have to do with Tartarians, though? Mind Unveiled does actual research. I don't know the channel, but if the argument is Tartarians are subterranean species living in our duplexes, I'm going to tell you no amount of research is going to make that one make sense. You can do research on shit till the cows come home, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to be dog shit if that's what it's based on. Auxiliary defensive and proxy. The Irish Connection. Where can I just get like a quick, concise breakdown of the Tartarians? The U.S. Constitution is from Tartaria. With a name like that, how can I not at least check this out?
Hey everybody. So I think I got some really good juice for you guys. There's a lot going on, and I find this to be very relevant because you're seeing Democrats actively trying to destroy the Constitution, and with the Green New Deal, they want to destroy many of these old Tartarian buildings.
That was not the angle I
mentioned that
thought
in my
this was
last
going.
video, and many
Fucking
seem to
woke
not
libs
really
destroyed
understand
Tartaria's
why the
U.S.
Constitution is so important
Constitution.
and what makes it special. In this video, I want to present a thesis that will explain how the Constitution of the United States could be a Tartarian document from a past age that created the most beautiful system in which the people had control over the government. There are many pieces to cover, so let's get started.
I'm ready.
Shout out to KD on Stolen History for helping out with this info. You've heard
Shout
me
out to the
mention
guy
that
that said
many
Mind
US
Unveiled
cities
does
were not
real
founded on the
research.
dates that we are taught in history books and all that. These
Cool
buildings are
start.
much older than we are led to believe, and we have a lot of evidence to support this. So we have this legend of this legendary town called Norumbega.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, it was this empire that was in North America before the history books teach us, and they don't really teach about this. It's supposedly just a legend. But what we have is this map from the 1540s that shows castles and European settlements
Wow.
in America, and this doesn't really fit the narrative. This is from 1540. So what are these What are these buildings?
I like how he just immediately takes it as fact. Well, this doesn't fit the narrative. It's from 1540, because this crayon drawing said so. So something nefarious is afoot. What is this, a map of Norumbega in A? Let's see. Where does this map originate from? Part of the Abraham Ortelius Atlas from 1570. I'm assuming the Tartarians are also connected to Atlantis then, if we're just going by old incorrect maps. It was alleged that the houses had pillars of gold, and inhabitants carried quarts of pearls on their heads. Whoa. Wow. That's nuts.
What if there was a empire that was made up of the northeastern cities and states that we know of, like New York City?
What if there was an empire
Philadelphia,
made out of
Washington,
reptilians?
D.C., and
I
most
can play
of
this
these
game
were
too.
actually some type of Tartarian empire that was within the United States.
What if the reptilians
So,
came from space?
Let's take a look at Norumbega. I would like to think that maybe they were the ones who developed the system of government, or the system.
He kind of just summed up all of it right there. I would like to think. That's what all of this shit is always based on. I think it'd be fun to believe this. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's harmless. That's fine. So far, every single thing he's saying is, what if? I want to believe this. None of it's compelling evidence of shit at all. It was erased. Because I said so. Yeah, I'm ready to learn about Tartaria. So they clearly made the U.S. Constitution. I heard a lot of very impressive supporting evidence there. How about this? This
The
is shorter.
Tartarian civilization was said to be the greatest civilization ever to be erased from history. People have different opinions, and it's gaining a lot of attention and followers from Reddit, Twitter, and other social media sites. The Tartarian
means it
myth
has to be
has several
real.
running discussions. The first one is about how Tartaria was a loss of a great empire in northern Asia. The second is that this empire ruled over the entire planet, establishing a one world or nearly one world government. The final layer is that this empire was not only global but also advanced. They had technologies unlike anything we can comprehend, and the society's architecture demonstrates their enormous talents. There was this history wipe or reset, and there was some kind of mud flood catastrophe around the 1850s that caused worldwide mud accumulation, covering a large portion of buildings and churches. And historical
So it all
evidence was
ties
mostly
back.
removed from our libraries and education systems for some other inexplicable reason. Tartari was a country with its own flag, government, and location on the...
So you're just saying all of these things, but where's the evidence? I can say the same shit about anything. In fact, Godslap is based on a true story. I don't know how many of you knew that. Prior to humans coming in and the fucking woke liberal blue hairs coming in and erasing the true history of the earth, we used to fight each other through slaps and cyberpunk level technology. But then wokeness spread like a plague and erased all of the truth. And I have comic books to back it up. You know, like, he has nothing. He's just saying this. I don't understand. Is proof a word I'm allowed to use when talking about Tartaria? Because I'd be very curious to see why anyone at all believes any of it besides just wanting it to be real because it's fun. Keep watching. There's evidence at the end. The perfect place for evidence at the very end. So after making all of the statements with nothing to substantiate it, at the end is where it comes in. Okay, where?
that the Middle Ages never occurred. We are currently living in the period following Christ's reign, which is also described in the book of Revelation. As a result, Satan himself is attempting to conceal the truth about Tartaria from us. The Tartarian believers concluded that their architects must have been giants because of the vaulted ceilings in the buildings that remained after Tartaria, and that the world governments are actively attempting to conceal an ancient civilization of giants for believers. Believers in Tartaria view World War II as the completion of a global campaign to wipe out all evidence of the Tartarian Empire's existence.
This is going in the evidence section. And you just started that with, they believe World War II was actually a campaign to erase Tartarian influence. How is that evidence? Again, you're just saying they want to believe. Like, people are getting dangerously fucking stupid. Everyone wants to feel so fucking unique that they believe in the most unhinged shit imaginable, like Tartarians. Oh my god. Exhibits Andy and Sylvie.
Aficionados also often look to World's Fairs, which are major worldwide exhibitions of a wide variety of industrial, scientific, and cultural objects displayed at a given site for a period of time, and conclude that the stunning buildings erected for these events were not built. Instead, these were Tartarian standing structures. The government aims to obliterate Tartaria from history and constructed the World's Fair in such a way that they could destroy these structures without raising suspicion.
Why?
Tartaria conspiracy theory
Why would
may be
they?
one of the strangest examples of pseudo-history. Its core notion is that the area depicted on early modern European maps as Tartaria or Grand Tartari was not merely a hazy topographical designation, but rather a massive centralized empire. The existence of said empire has been concealed for whatever reason to fit in with various stories.
So I'm
though it
assuming the
existed-
uploader here doesn't believe it either. He's just presenting what the beliefs are. And, okay. Maybe I went in here with the wrong understanding of it, because, goddamn. The real question is, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to erase Tartarian influence? Because they gain nothing from it. If they're all dead for whatever mysterious mud flood, mud wizard reason, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. The question, and I see this shit all the time, because people like to believe in the most unhinged shit ever, but the question should always be, what would they gain from it? And 9 times out of 10, they can't answer that question with anything that makes sense. Every big power play is always going to be money or power. That's it. If they are not getting money directly out of something, there's likely not a conspiracy behind it. If they're not getting power out of it, also likely not a conspiracy behind it. Religious. I guess maybe religious now too, because Satanic Panic's in full fucking effect. But even still, do you really think like the elite weirdos would actually give a fuck about religion? I don't think so. I think it's all money power driven, not religious. Scientology. Scientology is literally all about money. That is the entire core of Scientology is money. The lady who voices Bart Simpson has donated an absurd amount of money to Scientology. A lot of people have. It's a very lucrative religion to be in. Thanks to Tier 1 perp. Very much so.